Good morning from Ormond Beach, Florida. We're on a little bit of an adventure here today. We woke up with intentions of going to Beer Fest and a race out at Daytona International. They had a hiccup with their website, and when we got there, it was sold out. So we're on a little bit of a road trip. We made a little bit of a quick stop over here. Check out these trees. They have a really great walking trail over here. You start off going through the forest, then head over to the dunes. Come back around. We're heading to Fort Matanzas.
It's going to be a small phone.
In order to get to the fort, you had to park the national park area and take a boat over. There's the fort right across the waterway. It's free. That's pretty cool.
In their
this rock is coquina.
The builders said that when they made this place. The repair crews that the National Park Service put in here in the 1930s said the exact same thing when they were fixing this place. So why did the Spanish build all of this stuff? If you take enough tours in downtown St. Augustine, they'll tell you they built out of coquina because cannonballs bounced off. That's a whole nother story to talk about. Spanish built out of coquina for one reason and one reason only. The only rock they had around here to use. Why did the story develop about cannonballs bouncing off of it? Sections of walls in the other fort downtown were about 9 feet thick, tapering outwards to 18 feet thick. So you have enough rock, it's as porous as this stuff is. It gave the effect where cannonballs hit it and rolled down the side, or hit it and sunk in. Did they actually bounce off the building? That is extremely unlikely. But what happens if I was to whisper into his ear and it worked its way all the way to the back? The story will slightly evolve as time goes on. And my job in the National Park Service is to tell the stories of people who once lived in things like this and give you all an idea. Do any of us here know exactly what a soldier was doing here one day? No, we just rely on what they wrote down. The commander who worked at this outpost wrote daily logs. The soldiers he commanded did not know how to read or write. So whatever they said word of mouth versus whatever the commander said, their records describe the island less
This
than 2
building
acres in size.
sat abandoned for 100 years.
High tide washed up and hit the side of the building.
This building is buried by 4 feet to protect it from high tides and actually
so there's
built
been a lot of changes compared to that
on
old
wood.
soldier. One of the biggest change.
Let's take a look at this rock up close. So 7 men man this fort at all times. 6 soldiers and 1 sergeant or captain. Yeah, they've done a lot of patchwork here as well. This fort never saw any battle. Any ships that would come in the inlet, they'd fire a warning shot and the records show that the ships turned around and reversed course. The name of the island where this fort sits is called Rattlesnake Island. Because this is loaded with rattlesnakes, but they say to stay on the mowed path. You get up to the first level, see all these cannons. This is not the original tower that was part of the fort. This has been replaced. The original tower was red. Openings and doorways, not that big. Check out these cannons. Do not go on the cannons and walls. So the 2 big guns are original, 2 smaller guns are more modern. And we're inside the main room. This is where 6 people shared this room. These are the tools needed to fire a cannon. Here's what the fort looked like in 1912. And here it is in the late 1800s. Abandoned gun. Here's the west side. Here it is in the 1930s. Dolphin sightings outside. Look at these hats. This is cool stuff. Here's the captain's quarters.
Oh, wow.
Food storage. Alright, Mary's gonna take one for the team because this is pretty narrow. Just gonna take a quick look around the side here for a second. There it is. That was a fun little excursion.
Yeah, it was a nice little side thing.
Free 99.
Free, well, a couple of dollars.
We donated a couple of bucks to keep up the park, but it's free. Next stop for the day, St. Augustine Distillery. Whiskey, rum, gin, and vodka. We've passed this place so many times and have never stopped in here, so today's the day. Free tours and tastings. We've got some time to kill before the tour, so I'm gonna go check out the gift shop. It smells good. Oh, cigar glass. Cigar rests on the outside. Drink your whiskey on the inside. Get yourself a square ice cube. They've got a bourbon and tobacco candle. How about this glass? The ice goes on one side and the liquid on the other, so it doesn't get watered down. You can buy your Florida cane vodka here, or gift sets.
My throat doesn't hurt
Mule mixers. And I've got the cups here. Here's your shakers and square ice cube molds. Oh, and I like these glasses. They'll have it etched in there, St. Augustine Distillery bourbon, 50 bucks. You get a smaller bottle for 30, or you get the Saint for 200 bucks. And then you have St. Augustine rum here. You actually have tiki mugs as well. Garlic pickles with the kick. It's cold gin time again. Bourbon cherries, rum coconut popcorn, bourbon barrel aged honey. Mary's all over it. While we're waiting for our tour, we'll take a look around the waiting area here. This is an ammonia compressor. This was the ice plant. How you make ice. Wow. History of distillation. And here's the most important fact for 2013, when Rick Scott signed a bill into law allowing distilleries the right to sell locally made spirits directly to the public. Here's the items they use to make the liquor. Here's some artifacts. Liquor tax. This big thing is a vintage bottle cleaner from 1920. And this is an 1890s cast iron syrup kettle.
Power plant in Florida servicing this entire community started right here and worked about a block and a half through what you guys see as our parking lot. The second building was built in 1917 when Florida Power and Light figured out how to take that energy and turn it into the first clean big block ice plant. So this part has been here over 100 years. The last two buildings were built 10 years later in 1927. Ice plants got tiny and they did it with a bunch of steel, like this column in the back of the room, in front of you guys.
We're going in.
Slide on down through my height, you'll get taller in the back. You have to use more than half corn to make bourbon. So our distillers chose 60% local sweet corn, soft local red winter wheat, and malted barley. Barley doesn't grow very well in Florida, so we're very lucky to be able to help a regional farmer with that element. The whole boiling water goes up into this silver mash cooker. It takes about 6 hours for them to heat it to the right temperature. Then they add live yeast, stir it up and get it out of cooking. Then it goes into one of these 5 square fermentation tanks along the window. That takes days. You can't really heat up a live organism for days without destroying it. So what keeps it alive is hidden inside. Spiral jackets that distillers shoot cold water through, and that works great to keep the yeast active. But we've never discarded that water and filled back up like other distilleries. These guys even recycled the jacket of water. They created the first zero waste recovery system in the entire United States. The water goes from the jackets into a container outside. That container reheats that jacket of water tomorrow for the next batch of bourbon.
This is where the bottling takes place. 2 people bottle every day. Only 2 people. They can fill up 12 bottles at a time.
You guys, why'd you come down here? It's a liquor store. Whatever word sits in front of it, they have to use 51% or more. So it could be rye or malted barley, but you don't know anything else that's not on the bottle. That's why I think our tour is so smart. After you learn all this, you don't just stare and boom. You get to taste everything and decide what you like yourself. Don't let anyone tell you. This is literally why they say every person has to taste whiskey to figure it out. You've got your own palate. You're going to be able to check that out today. So the C is corn and A is America. 1964, Congress added it to our spirit laws. You can't make it anywhere else.
Oh wow. We're ready. It's sample time. We get 3 cocktails here.
Spritz, where you get to try the #1 craft gin in the country. USA Today named us that. I truly believe it's because we are not crushing that juniper berry. I do not like this berry. A lot of people feel the same, so if you smell it whole, you might notice how different this is going to be. There's also star anise and citrus and incredible botanicals. Quite fun when you get to that point. Grab one, slide out of the way, make sure everybody comes to dance with me. Come on, guys, Florida Mule, please don't hand them back or I don't get to dance with you. Come on now. Grab from the front row, slide to the back.
Mary's going to try a mule.
You're doing it just right. Thank you for being here. Once you get one, go to the back of the room, you end up in the same spot.
That's actually really good.
Come on, decide the
I am
flavor
a fan of
by how
mules,
much
so we're gonna try this
crushed
one.
ice and carbonated water you had. Come on now, let's get you a Florida Mule.
Very sweet.
At first,
Tiki drink up
maybe
next.
you'll get a little pineapple and then a hint of nutmeg. When you get to the middle of the vessel, it's like it's totally changed.
Tiki cocktail?
The rum tiki.
You like it?
So this one went up to 90. Here we go. What do you guys think of the sweeter one?
Really sweet. Really sweet. We're going to have the gin cocktail now. Hibiscus Spirits Gin.
Hibiscus, Florida sugar cane, and citrus. Would anybody like to try the bourbon I've been put up in my
It's alright, it's not my favorite.
There he is. Everybody say hi, Clark.
Hello guys, how are you doing? Alright, did everybody enjoy your
I think the mule was the best.
Bourbon. So for this,
Next drink is going to be an old fashioned with their bourbon.
Our Florida Straight, 88 proof, age statement of 3 years. Once again, our latest release. This is our Florida Straight.
We're going to go with the old fashioned.
I'm not a big bourbon lover, so this is.
Alright guys, everybody get one who wanted to try one. Alright guys, what'd you think? Very awesome. Very good. Alright. Alright guys, you guys,
Very
the official interview we're here at the St.
Very
Augustine
deep
Distillery. But
notes.
that does not
Woody
mean it
notes.
has to be the
Very
end of
deep
your
woody
tasting
notes.
journey.
Smoky woody.
If you have any questions at all, let us know. And now begins the self-guided portion of your tour. If you want to try any of our experience on our
This is bourbon with the port finish.
It smells so different. Feels like I'm 21 at the moment.
This is the bourbon with the port finish. Strong. What a burn. It's very good though. Aftertaste.
Yes.
Really good. Gin sample straight. Now we wrapped up with the tour. It ran about 40 minutes combined with the history and overview and the tastings. It was just awesome.
That was like the best, like
free 99.
Yeah, it's
Free.
amazing.
You get like 4 mixed cocktail samples, which are the small like shot glass samples, and then you can get shots unlimited basically of the other items that they have there. And the St. Augustine Distillery, when they opened, it's family owned. It's 2 families that came together and they pooled resources in the community together to gather funds up so that they can start this up.
No loans, no tax money, no nothing. Just
And they put the money back into the community also. So very big. They put money
worked
towards
with,
like Habitat for Humanity and build houses. They can ship out right now, I think, to about 30 different states using a third-party vendor, but they're all over Florida, so you can actually get their items in Publix, ABC, Total Wine. Awesome. We've made our way over to St. George Street. So many places to eat over here and drink and shops to spend time in. Always lots of live music happening. Every time we come to this area, we always go to Pizza Time because we want pizza. I always forget that Columbia's here, and it's one of my favorite restaurants, but we normally go to the one that's in Tampa. Here is our favorite pizza. We have arrived at Pizza Time. Done with pizza, now just coming for a little walking tour. The cathedral has mass going on, so we can't go inside, but we've done that before. Absolutely beautiful church. The girl in the top window isn't so creepy. Save the clock tower. Now as we head home, we're heading towards the clearing. And we're back home from our aimless adventure that led us up to St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Just to give a little bit of background again, we were intending to go to Daytona International today. They had a beer fest for Daytona, and it included the qualifying, and included they had an advanced auto part 75 lap race and everything. And the weather was supposed to be really bad, so we waited until today to be able to buy tickets. And when we logged in this morning, you could go to the point of having the tickets in your cart and go to check out, and it wouldn't check out. So we called them up. They had tickets available, told us to come to the box office, pick them up, and when we got there, they didn't have them. So, you know, we had an experience with bad customer service at the track, go back and forth about the tickets. But instead of being stuck with lemons, we had really good lemonade again.
Yeah.
And had a really good day.
Yeah, we did.
So it worked out better, I think, than if we had gone to the track.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun today.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because we got hit with rain across the state all day today. So the rain kept coming into Daytona, and especially down below towards the theme parks and everything. But then up towards St. Augustine, it was overcast, but it didn't rain for the most part. So we lucked out. So we're gonna say goodnight for now. Thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes and your comments and your subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys.